very time, there was some present who told Jesus about Galileans whose blood Pilate had mingled with their sacrifices. That's all we know about that story. But you can sort of reconstruct the story from that little sentence. That apparently some people from Galilee, from Jesus' home region, came down to Jerusalem to offer sacrifice to God, and which for them meant like something physical, right? I mean, it meant like bringing an actual animal, dragging an actual animal 60 miles, right? Or maybe buying one when you get to Jerusalem. That'd probably be simpler, right? And then slaughtering this animal, or having the priest do it, and then eating it. And it might have been a celebration, and it might have been like all sorts of reasons. But anyway, this is what they did. And for whatever reason, we have no idea why, Pilate had them killed while they were doing their sacrifices. That's all we know. And Jesus says, do you think that because these Galileans suffered in this way, they were worse sinners than all the other Galileans? My first response is, what kind of question is that, Jesus? Like, what are you thinking? Why would you even ask that? What a horrible thought. So I was trying to make sense of that this week. One of the ways that it makes sense to me is to think about our experiences in Ghana. Because there are so many parallels between Ghanaian society and Jesus' society. And in Ghana, when someone who is in any sort of teaching authority, or any sort of authority at all, basically anybody who's more than 6 months older than you, asks you a yes-no question, the answer is automatically yes. Whether any time a teacher asks a yes-no question, the students are supposed to say yes. And that's because in Ghana, their educational system is meant to teach obedience, not actual knowledge. But you're not supposed to think about the question. You're just supposed to say yes. Right? So, right? Is the sky blue? Yes. Is the grass green? Yes. Are you 9 feet tall? Yes. Right? Just automatic. Which gives the teacher the opportunity to say no! Right? So you can imagine Jesus asking this question, everyone going, yes. Jesus going, no! That's not the way it goes. Right? So it's a good way to make a point. Another way to think about this is to realize that this is classic stuff. This is still stuff we do. Somebody has something horrible happen to them, and how do we respond? We blame the victim. This is classic victim blaming, right? Antoine Rose gets shot running away. Well, if he hadn't been running away, well, if he hadn't been in that car, well, if he hadn't been, well, let's face it, black, none of this would have happened to him. It's all his fault for being black, I suppose. Right? So, right? So yeah, in some ways, that's a perfectly reasonable question. Do you really think that? Right? Do you think the victim is the fault? Because what we want to do, naturally, is say, that can't happen to me. I'm safe. Because who wants to feel unsafe? Right? And so anything we can find to make things like that be a problem out there rather than a problem in here makes us feel more safe. It's a perfectly reasonable thing to want to be safe. Or last week, when the flyers went around our neighborhood from the Klan, and our chief of police responded, this does not pose a threat. And I think correctly. I think, however inadequate it was right. They did not really pose a threat. But what that really means is that those of you who are safe and white are still safe and white. And those of you who are brown or black or in mixed marriages or gay or lesbian, you're no less safe than you were before. But no more safe either. Right? You were in danger before the Klan did this, and you're still in danger because you don't fit into our nice white world. And so Jesus says, yeah, but unless you repent, you will perish, which means you are not exempt. You are, this sort of thing can happen to you, and even if you tick all of the boxes for safety, this sort of thing can happen to you, and if it can't, then you're part of a messed up system, and you got to know that. You are not exempt unless you repent. You will perish, which doesn't mean, right, feeling sorry for yourself or sorry about stuff. It means changing the system. Repent ultimately means change. Unless we fix things, nothing is going to get better. And so Isaiah comes along. He says, wow, look at all this stuff happening. Look at all this horrible, horrible stuff happening. And like, when you respond to it, why do you respond to it the way you do? Isaiah chapter 55. It's in here somewhere. And so Isaiah uses this metaphor of thirsting, these things that we want. And Isaiah says, this stuff that you want, why do you spend your money for that which is not bread and your labor for that which does not satisfy? That's how old this response is. Even in Isaiah's day, people had, stuff going on in their lives and they wanted to respond. So what did they do? They went out and bought something. Right? Whether it's the latest pill or the latest juice that's going to cure all of your illness, or your new diet, or this new fad. Or maybe you just need to buy yourself a pair of shoes to make yourself feel better, or the new big screen TV, or I don't know what it is. But we've all got our stuff, right? It's not like any of us can sort of go, oh yeah, no, I'm exempt from this. I don't ever do that. Yeah. For me, it's usually chocolate. It gets bad enough. It's time to go buy more chocolate. Pardon me?
And a truck.
Well, and a truck. Yeah, a truck would be even better, but Thank you. Right? So this is us, right? And we still do this. And Jesus says, and Isaiah says, don't do that. And in the church, what I'd really like to be able to tell you here, right, is that Jesus can satisfy all of your needs. Just give it all to God, and God will just take care of it all. But I can't. Because I've been giving it all to Jesus now for years and years and years, and I still go out and buy trucks. Because He hasn't taken care of it all. And it just, if we could do this, man, I wish I could say that with a straight face. Just give it to Jesus and it'll all be fine. Right? But I still gotta, here you guys are. Apparently, if it was all fine, you would need to come here every week. But you come back here every week because it isn't fine, is it? But we're still here because this is part of the answer. Right? That we come here because, one step forward. And maybe the rest of the week is going to take us 2 steps back. But we're going to come back here next week, and maybe we're going to take 2 steps forward next week. And maybe sometime during the week, we're going to do something so that somebody else can take a step forward, right? Feeling a little bit more safe, and feeling a little bit more secure, and feeling a little bit more loved. And even if it's not us taking that step forward, maybe it's the person next door, maybe it's the person at work. And who knows what it is? Maybe it's the person sitting next to us in class who, we say something and they can take that step forward, or that we sit next to them in class because no one else is going to. Right? All of these little things we can do. And then we come back here and we go, oh, here I am, and it's just been one of those weeks. But the rest of us, right? The rest of us are gonna be here to move each other forward. So here we are again. And we're gonna go out to this week, and we're gonna do it again. We're gonna spend our money on things that don't satisfy, and our labor on that which just doesn't work. And then we're going to come back here. Right? But it's still better than nothing. It's still moving, hopefully, things forward. And always hopefully, always with hope. So that's what we do here. I struggled with a song of response because it's water and it's spring and I want to sing Rain Down. That's what I wanted to sing, and I preached 2 weeks ago about how much I didn't like those words. So we just want to change a few words at least. So Rain Down, 49 in your green book. Let's sing Rain Down your love on all people. Just to not feel like too self-righteous about all of this. And then God's mercy falls on the just and unjust. On us, I don't know, but not the just and the right, because the just and the right don't need mercy. It's the rest of us that need mercy. If you're just and right, you need justice. If you're willing to be satisfied with justice, you go for it. The rest of us are going to be looking for mercy. So, let's stand and sing together.